Howdy, 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 and welcome to the SportsterProject.com YouTube channel. I'm Hersey. We're out here in the garage, and I'm doing some tinkering on the 1988 Swedish Style Sportster. Specifically, I'm replacing the handlebars. I picked up this set of handlebars at the Peanut City Chop and Swap a couple of weekends ago. Got a pretty good deal on them. I used the bars that I have on here just because I had them, and they worked and they looked fine. I don't really like the pullback on them, so I'm hoping that these bars will fit up there good and still give me a pretty good riding position, be pretty comfortable. But you know, this is a lot more about looking cool than being comfortable on this bike. So I'm just gonna swap them out. So let's get into it and see what it's gonna take to do it. Should be pretty easy. I shouldn't have to replace any cables or anything. So it should be a pretty quick swap, and yeah, it should look pretty good on there. So let's get to it. So the first thing I'm going to do is just put something over the tank to hopefully minimize the amount of damage that I do to my fancy paint job. And we're just going to remove the grips. Now these grips, they're just slide-on grips. I didn't use any kind of adhesive or anything. So the two grips should, well, this grip on the left-hand side should pop off. So I'm going to reuse it on the new bars. And then I'm going to take off the clutch perch. Don't have to remove the cable or anything because let's just lay it over here out of the way. I'm going to set that over there. Now I'm going to take the front brake master cylinder off. It is a metric, well, from a metric bike. It was from a Honda Shadow. So let me disconnect the brake line, the brake switch connections off of it. Got that off. Just lay that out of the way. And then I'll take off the throttle. I'm going to try to slide this off the bar. Hopefully there's enough play in it without having to take it all apart. If I have to take it all apart, I will. Nope, came right off. I'm going to set of wire cutters to just cut these wire ties that for the brake light switch, which is the only wiring that I have going to the handlebars on this bike. That's for the front brake. Going to take the handlebars off. So these old handlebars, it's a 1/2 inch 13 bolt, 3/4 inch, and just get in there. Try to get in there. Let me grab a wrench. Probably going to be easier to get to it. So I got a 3/4 inch wrench. Yep. Just brace the front end. And we'll break both of them loose. Now, since these handlebars don't use a riser, it's actually really easy because you just unthread this and then thread it up in there. When I put this bike together, I replaced the bushings with solid bushings, so that's already done. Something I am going to do is I found some of these in a box of stuff I had, which are just some washers, kind of decorative, that go on the top clamp to just, you know, pretty it up a little bit. From a pretty standpoint, this bike needs all the help it can get. So I'm going to get these bolts the rest of the way out, and once I have these handlebars off, then then we'll come back and we'll put the new bars on. All right, so we got the old bars off. I'm going to use the 1/2 inch 13 pitch thread bolts to attach the new bars. Again, putting these little covers that weren't in there before just makes it a little prettier. Let's try to start with this back one. Oops. Gonna wish I had a second or a third set of hands. Get that up in there, get one of them started, and it should go a lot easier after that. Get it started in there. All right, that's one started. You want to be careful not to cross thread them. Nice and flush. Now I just got to tighten them up. All right, so I ran the bolts up into the bars, and I'm just going to finish tightening them up, getting them in there good and snug. And then we'll start getting the controls put back together. Good and tight. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put the throttle control back on there. Hopefully there's going to be plenty of room for the cable. Looks like it. Basically on the throttle, come all the way to touching the bar and then just back it off just a hair so that the throttle can turn. If you put it on too tight, then the throttle's not going to want to turn into housing. So we're just going to put it on there and back it off just a hair. Grab the right tool. Which that one's not it. It's the one I dropped earlier. And then we'll just tighten down. Yeah, throttle's working. Still hot out. Cooler than it was, but still warm. Huh. I may not have enough room for that brake line. Let me get it on there and let's see how it works and whether or not there's too much there or not. That doesn't move any because it's attached to the on the same line as the forks. I guess if that fork uncompresses any, that might be a bad day. Let's see how the clutch side fits. Actually, first I'm going to put the other grip on. Just lubricate a little bit of spit. Push it on up there. There we go. It's in place. And let's see if the clutch cable is going to have any issues. All right. Take this off of here. And just get on it. I like the way they're going to sit. The problem I have right now, I think we're going to have issues with the brake. Well, no, the brake cable, I mean, it's tight. Probably tighter than I'd want it to be. So it may be getting a new brake cable, but I think other than that, or brake line, I think other than that, oh, that feels pretty good. I think it looks pretty good too. Yeah, I think I'm gonna like that just fine. So I'll connect up the rear brake light switch, which is just a couple of push-on connectors here. Check that in a minute, make sure it's still working. Yep, still have a brake light. So the new handlebars are on. I'll need to wire tie the brake light switch wiring like I had it on the other bars. But pretty simple process. I think it looks good on there. Brake cable's a little bit tight. Not as tight as it seemed when I was putting it together, but I think it actually will work out just fine. Clutch cable, I've got plenty of room there. Throttle cable, I've got plenty of room there. And all that seems to be working well. So there we go. Got a swapped out the bars on this Sportster. Sweated a lot, dropped a bunch of tools. Hope you found this entertaining at least, if not helpful. So if you did, please like it. If you have any questions, make sure you leave them down in the comments. I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when I post the next one. Until next time, build, tinker, and ride. Be safe out there.